sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. We have a bunch of t-shirts. We have survival bracelets. Pocket Constitution. Go there, check it out. We got bumper stickers. We got just about everything you want. So right before getting on air, I was, my wife asked me a question, and I was absolutely, utterly stupefied. I couldn't believe, and she was being a smart ass, but this person actually did this, and I don't. Well, to get to it, my wife asked, would I would like for her to make a vegan pumpkin pie? A vegan pumpkin pie. It hurts my head because, pumpkin pie is already a vegan meal, isn't it? It's made from pumpkins. How the hell do you go and turn a pumpkin pie into a vegan pumpkin pie? I mean, besides the fact that they were throwing tofu into this crap, it just boggles my... How high did this cook have to be to go, all right, dude. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, hold on one second. Hold on, let's get it. All right, I got an idea here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a vegan pumpkin pie. Oh, man, that's just going to fuck with people's mind. Oh, I can't even wrap my mind around it right now. I'm so stoned. A vegan pumpkin pie. That's the only thing I can think of, you know. Oh, my God. It's just got my brain in like this utter loop of what the fuck. And I just keep looking at my wife going, it's already vegan. And no, we don't do that vegan meal type stuff. No, she knew I would. She did this on purpose. I'm blaming my wife. She did this on purpose. She's mean. Now I got to get her back. So, other things in news. This one floored me. Now, I despise Michael Moore. But unfortunately, I like what he had to say recently. And it hurt him to say this. I don't know, because I think a lot of times he says shit just to be edgy, just to cause controversy, to keep himself in the news. Well, let's just go to the clip.
Because I know a lot of people in Michigan that are planning to vote for Trump, and they don't necessarily like him that much, and they don't necessarily agree with him. They're not racist and rednecks, they're actually pretty decent people. And so I wanted to sort of, after talking to a number of them, I wanted to write this. And Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club.
They're not racist. They're not any of the other is and ums that they love to label. And that's one of the biggest propagandists out there. And he's actually here. I want to make sure everybody hears this.
They're not racist and rednecks, they're actually pretty decent people. And so I wanted to sort of, after talking to a number of them, I wanted to write this. And Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states. You live here in Ohio, you know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant, because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. And on November 8th, Election Day, although they lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone. The car's been repoed. They haven't had a real vacation in years. They're stuck with the shitty Obamacare bronze plan where you can't even get a fucking Percocet. They've essentially lost everything they had except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution, the right to vote. They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be fucked over and fucked up. It doesn't matter, because it's equalized on that day. A millionaire has the same number of votes as the person without a job. One. And there's more of the former middle class than there are in the millionaire class. So on November 8th, the dispossessed will walk into the voting booth, be handed a ballot, close the curtain, and take that lever, or felt pen or touchscreen, and put a big fucking X in the box by the name of the man who has threatened to upend and overturn the very system that has ruined their lives. Donald J. Trump. They see that the elites who ruined their lives hate Trump. Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump after they loved him and created him, and now hate him. Thank you, media. The enemy of my enemy is who I'm voting for on November 8th. Yes, on November 8th, you Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest fuck you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
Michael Moore is, I mean, what I take from that is going to vote and is endorsing Trump. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to become a fan of Michael Moore now, but when someone says something that I think is right, I am willing to, I got to agree with it. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean I won't agree with them. I have stood up in squad meetings, firehouse meetings, and just because I don't like somebody, I've still stood up for what is right. I will support somebody if they are in the right, whether I like them or not, that's irrelevant. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and Hillary Clinton is wrong. This still does, like I said, I'm not going to become an instant Michael Moore fan. No. I don't believe any of these polls. These polls are so far away from each other, it's not funny. And that's the funny part. They're contradicting each other with these polls, and nothing is within each other. The polls aren't matching up with what outside in reality. That's why I believe in my hearts of heart that these polls are being tampered with. And it's been shown time and time again that these polls have been tampered with. And it's so easy to, I mean, the best, and I've talked about it with my parents and friends and stuff. And what the example I give is, it's so easy to skew data when you want to skew it. Because when you look at paper to reality, they're two different things. In physics, from what I've been explaining and from what I've read, you can have an elephant stand on a certain point of an egg, and the egg will hold up an elephant. Reality, you can't do it. The point is too small for the elephant to stand on. Getting those angles, not going to happen. But on paper, an egg can take the weight of an elephant without breaking. Reality, that egg's going to get squashed. And hopefully people understand what I just said, because I know sometimes I say things and it makes sense in my head, but in reality, people are going, "What the fuck did you just say?" The polls are one thing. The polls look great on paper. In reality, people might right now say, "Yeah, I'm supporting Hillary. Yeah, I can't vote for Trump." But once they get in there in that voting booth, they go, "Yeah, he does say mean things. He says mean things. She's going to do mean things." And the reality is, saying is different from actions. I don't believe, and I've seen it, social media, in the real world, No one believes these accusations. And if you notice, they've kind of fell to the wayside. They didn't stick. They didn't do the damage that they were meant to do, and they kind of... It was too convenient, too perfect timing. It's not like this man was not in the limelight for the last 30-some years. All of a sudden, poof, he runs for president. Now he's a sexual predator. Jesus. I don't know what the heck this is. Huh, hold on. I don't take any of it seriously. I don't believe it. And I don't put it past the Clinton campaign. I was about to say, one of them sets up an adult store, which is whatever. That's your right. But it just seems very convenient the day before she starts an online store, and then she comes out to the national limelight to make an accusation. It's too convenient for me. But it's amazing that Michael Moore is sitting there defending the people, defending Trump, and agreeing with Trump, and making the case to vote for Trump. Now, I doubt I got any never Trumpers listen to me. Vote for who you want. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. But I'm here to tell you, Trump may say mean things. You might think he's going to do certain things. You think. You don't know. Hillary will. We know what she's going to do. We know she is going after the First Amendment. We know she's going to go after the Second Amendment. She's going to do anything and everything to destroy our borders. Massive influx of Middle Eastern questionable people. You don't bring in knowing that there's going to be terrorists. Don't believe all these expert pundits. All these expert pundits are saying the same thing they said during the primary. They're talking how he can't make it. He can't do it. He has no path. The man had, at the beginning of the primaries, 1% chance of winning. 1% chance of winning the primary. And here we are. And don't tell me it doesn't matter, because it does. Look at the rallies. And it's funny because all of a sudden now Clinton is starting to get a few people. And she's been caught bussing people in, paying people to go to her rallies. How does that make her feel? That's got to sting like a mother. And if you want to see the bias in the reporting. Hillary's been doing next to no rallies lately. Trump's been doing 3 rallies a day, making 8 stops a day. He doesn't even take a day off. He takes a part of a day. Part of a day. And CNN wants to talk to him about taking time off. How dare he? He's wasting time.
Time out of swing states to go do this, you say?
I say the following. You have been covering me for the last long time. I did yesterday 8 stops and 3 major speeches, and I've been doing this for weeks straight. I left there for an hour and a half. I'm going to North Carolina right now. Then I'm going to Florida. I'm going up to New Hampshire. For you to ask me that question is actually very insulting, because Hillary Clinton does 1 stop and then she goes home and sleeps. And yet you'll ask me that question. I think it's a very rude question, to be honest with you.
The man calls it like he sees it. I know, I sounded like from The Hobbit. He calls it like he sees it. That is what the media is doing. That gives you a little taste. So do you want to believe all this bullshit that they're pumping out? Especially when we see emails after emails after emails after emails that the media has had private meetings with Hillary. The media has agreed to push her agendas, to lie for her. I think the old expression is to carry water. It's Podesta email comes out that Hillary was at a Chipotle and she was there to order a burrito bowl. She's doing that a lot. She's going into Latino communities and going to Mexican foods. And, oh, look at me. I'm eating Mexican food. Vote for me because I eat your food. Jesus Christ. Can you get any more racist than that? But the funny part is, no one noticed her. No one gave a shit she was there. Podesta had to go have a conversation with the manager to make a fuss that Hillary Clinton was there, because no one gave a rat's ass. No one noticed. But why is she going into all these Latino, Hispanic, Mexican food stores and ordering all these meals? She went into some corner store, some local corner market, and she had to go in there and order whatever she ordered and make it look, I'm just like you. I go to the corner store and I order my meals from Mexican cooks. I am one of you Latinos. I know people are smarter than that to buy into that bullshit. Her campaign has done all sorts of shit like this to try to make her look like one of you. That woman doesn't know what it's like to be one of us. And don't buy that my dad had a small business. A small business was making like equal to $1 to $3 million nowadays. Her house that she was living in is not middle class. The woman has no idea what it's like to go from paycheck to paycheck. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Much Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm making sense out of senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want a kick-ass t-shirt, go to reaver.one/shop. I'm looking at some polls and some information. There is on Twitter this one that I pay close attention to. It's at States Polls, or poll. That's STATESPOLL. Got some excellent polls. Let's talk about Florida early voting. Vote by mail-in and in person. For today, they did their figures so far. And the vote by mails are very similar to 2012. And early voting in person, Trump is doing faring much better than Romney. For the Florida vote by mail, 677,000, which is 42% Republican, to 631,000, that's 39% for Democrats. That's plus 2.88% for the Republicans. Now, the early voting so far, the Democrats have a 4% lead. But, again, that's good numbers for Trump because that was 10% in 2012 for the Democrats, and they're down to 4%. And this doesn't show who actually voted. This is Democrats to Republican. And how many Democrats are actually voting for Trump and vice versa. So, I don't know. It's... And it goes on to talk about Dems already used too much manpower. Info, Broward and Miami-Dade and Orange County already 47 to 56% of the 2012 total votes. Even considering Latino turnout is boosted, they don't think that the Dems can add that much more anymore. So they're guessing that sooner or later GOP is going to flip in person also. Plus, heavy GOP County Pasco hasn't even started yet. It's going to be interesting, but I'm still standing behind my predictions. Not predictions, my opinion. My opinion, because I don't make predictions. I don't see into the future, and it's just I'm following certain logical steps. And I still believe, number one, Trump's going to win Florida. Number two, I think Trump's going to win the election. So, what the heck? So the Wall Street Journal... Sorry, I'm looking over data and seeing some stuff pop up, and it's piquing my interest. Let me go back, see if I can find that original. Nope. Ooh, that's interesting. So, sure. It's going to be an interesting time. We have a very, very interesting couple, 12, 13 days left. Well, I knew it was never going to be. going to be interesting, to say the least. And let's see where it goes from there. The last thing I wanted to do was, not last thing. I was hoping to get all this in the first segment. There is a new Veritas. Oh, and that goes to a very important message. I got an important announcement. Tomorrow, I will be interviewing live. I'll have someone from Veritas, Project Veritas, on the show. I know I just totally screwed that announcement up, but I don't know exactly who it's going to be, but it's going to be someone from Project Veritas. And with that, there's another video from Project Veritas, so let me put that on and we'll talk about it.
There are 47% of the people who will vote for the president no matter what. All right, there are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they're victims, who believe the government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe that they're entitled to health care, to food, to housing, to you name it. But it's an entitlement.
Bob got a hold of our guys who did the original insertions back in the 2000 and 2004 campaigns against Bush, where they were inserting people in and interrupting his fundraisers and his rallies in New York. They had a contingent. They did it all over the country. Yeah. And then I don't know if you remember. Well, they're the ones who negotiated to get that lawyer in Florida, who recorded the 47% video.
Wait, I thought that was a bartender.
It was actually a lawyer at the event.
It was not a bartender?
It was not a bartender.
Really?
No. The lawyer took his phone and had the bartender walk around.
Did the bartender get in trouble? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. I was going to say.
No. So, it was a whole coordinated operation to get the phone in because they had taken away all the cell phones from all the staff. And so what they did was they set it up in the room.
Do I know this lawyer? Are they with the NLG?
I have no idea. I have no idea who it is. But
you don't know if they're
the people who did the operation, they have a team of like 25 folks that this is what they do.
One more second. So it is absolutely amazing at it makes me question everything that has happened in the elections in the last 10, 15 years. It really... It's really scary. They're going to go to that lengths to win elections. Why? It's not because they want to. It's not because they want to. Make America better. They want that ruling power. It's scary. It really is scary. that they go to these lengths. They're going to these lengths to rig these elections? That scares the living crap out of me as an American. That tells me they're up to absolutely no good. And I'm not talking, I'm just going to try to scam money and for my pocket. They're willing to do all this. They're not out for our best interests. They're out to destroy everything that's America. It's video after video that are coming out on Project Veritas. And they can't even deny it anymore. They don't know how to deny it. The videos are heavily edited and the guy's a convict. They're not denying the information. They're not saying, no, we've never done that. They're just heavily edited. How's it edited? I don't know. It's just heavily edited. That's what I was told. WikiLeaks. Oh, they're faked emails. Where's that? Where the heck is that article? Here it is. Because they say that the WikiLeaks are tampered with. But the emails have been validated through routine test. Because there's headers within these emails, you can check the digital key that is buried in these emails and prove that they are real. And they have. A digital key buried in the email sent by Hillary Clinton's staff shows that many of the most important emails released via WikiLeaks have not been modified or falsified. This is by security experts. The tests are important because they undermine efforts by Democrats to deter media coverage of WikiLeaks. The other one is, it's Russia. Oh, it's fact. No, it isn't. There has been no agency that has locked it down to Russia. They said it. I'm trying to think of what the wording. Because it was not definite. It was, this is the style. This is what they've done in the past. This is them. There's been no agency that has 100% locked it down to Russia. WikiLeaks, for 10 years now, has been pumping out 100% accuracy. And now you're going to say, because it's you, Democrats, now you're going to say they're fake after 10 years of a perfect record? You're going to try playing the partisan? Oh, they're just coming after us. Well, no. They've come after Republicans before. They've come after all the governments of the world before. And the media ought to be ashamed. How these people can sleep at night is beyond me. You are helping the destruction of this country, you pieces of shit. You are not journalists. You are co-conspirators. And if we can get this country straightened out, yeah, there's freedom of speech, freedom of journalism. You're not doing journalism. You're co-conspirators, and you should be charged as such. It is disgusting what the media has been doing. And then they hide behind, well, I'm a journalist. I got freedom of speech. So do I, you piece of shit. You are not a journalist. You are a mouthpiece. You are a barking dog for the Democrat Party. You were nothing but a trained tack dog for the drug dealers. And no, I'm not saying that the Democrat Party's dealing drugs. I know, you got proof that they're dealing drugs? No, I'm using a metaphor. I'm sickened by my fellow Americans that are standing up and protecting. Not because I don't like Democrats. I used to be a Democrat. I woke up to the bullshit, and that's why I ran away from the party. I saw the lies. I started using logic. As I've said before, I wasn't a card-carrying Democrat, but I backed Democrats back for a while. President Clinton was a bad president. I didn't know shit about politics. And that's what they count on. As soon as I started looking into it, holy shit, Clinton was an asshole. He did more worse, or more. He was one of the bad presidents. He did a lot of shit that I didn't know because I didn't look into it, because I didn't want to know. And what pisses me off then, you have these Republicans. Well, you used to be a Republican or Democrat. You're over here. I don't like you, and I don't want you here. How the fuck do you grow your base, you dumbass, as a Republican? You got to convert people. And when people finally wake up, you don't treat them like shit. Because then that makes you no better than the Democrats. But I'm so sick of the media hiding behind freedom of the press. But what they're doing is not journalism. What they are doing is destroying our country. You want hope and change? I hate to use that line. Because I had hoped I'd still have change in my pocket, and I don't. The one that's going to do something is going to be Trump. Oh, he's an egomaniac. Exactly. And his ego's in the way right now. Not in the way, but his ego says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this country better. I'm going to do this. His ego's going to make it so he does it. And he's going to do it and make sure it's done right and legal. He knows how to stay within a budget. Jesus. Something our government hasn't been able to do in years. I'm so sitting here watching all these attack dogs, CNN, MSNBC, and just, we haven't verified. It's a video of them bragging. So much so these people were fired as soon as the videos came out. The DNC and these agencies wanted to distance themselves from it. They didn't fire them because they did anything wrong. They fired them because they opened their mouths. It's absolutely sickening. Our country and what's going on in the politics with the Democrats is no better than any other country that we've interfered with. For the name of democracy. Oh. Right now our democracy is in the toilet. The media actually reported on what's going on. Hillary Clinton would have no support. If she wasn't being artificially inflated and held up by the media, she would have no support. And everybody knows it. The media is propping that. They're propping up her candidacy. It's appalling. These emails are valid. They don't deny any of the information. You have Tim Kaine, well, they're fake, they're altered. Which ones are altered? I don't know. They won't lock down anything because it's just a false accusation that they're throwing out there to muddy it. And when confronted by real journalists, they can't answer the question and they back away from it. Or you get down when confronted, it's Russia. It's Russia. It's always Russia. As the Democrat Party sits there, Donald Trump, stop talking about the system is rigged. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. Stop whining. Russia's interfering in our election. They're rigging our election. They're against the Democrats. Hey, take your own advice. Stop whining. It's not Russia. It's your party. It's the Democrat Party's been pulling these illegal activities for years, and you've supported it. The Democrat parties have been rigging elections. For 50 years, we've been busing people in. 50 years, as he said. I want to see if I can get that. Video. I want the video. Video killed the radio star. It's just 50 years. As they said, they count on the Republican Party following the laws. No. Some of the state polls, Twitter, I was telling you, everybody out, they have Florida, Trump up by 3.6%. Nationally, they have Trump 3.6% up. I had another one and I clicked it. Dang it. Florida, Colorado. Georgia's 7% up. And don't forget, the same media bullshit we're hearing now, they said and Carter Reagan in 1980. Carter was ahead. Oh, it's tightening. Reagan went on to win 44 states. 44 states. I know Trump is not Reagan. I get tired of hearing that. Yeah, but history repeats itself, doesn't it? I honestly think Trump can do it. It's... these videos from Veritas have just... And don't forget, tomorrow I'll have Veritas on the show. We're going to be talking about these videos and much, much more. You got to understand, these guys and women, They put their safety at danger. I mean, they put their lives on the line just because the fact they've already got. I mean, James O'Keefe, you hear, is a convict because he went into Senator Mary Lambert. I think it is. I don't remember exactly her. She was a Louisiana senator. He lied to get in her office, so he was convicted of a crime. He lied to a congresswoman and was convicted for false, basically for lying for his reason to be in there. And that got him convicted. So lying to a politician is illegal, but a politician lying to the American people is perfectly acceptable. That's what our government has come to, people. It will attack us for lying. But
Lanyard.
Mary Lanyard. He lied to go into her office. And what was the charge? So he ended up entering a federal building under false pretense. That's what it is. It's a single misdemeanor count. A misdemeanor. That's what they're calling him, convicted. A misdemeanor. Entering a federal building under false pretense. He pled guilty to it, was sentenced to 3 years probation for a misdemeanor, 100 hours of a community service, and a $1,500 fine. It's when it protects these politicians, they use every law, but we see them breaking every law that they can. And that's my wife being a smartass. Speaking of smartasses, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying coffee is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. It is upon us. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to join the chat. I keep forgetting to tell everybody that nowadays. You can go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat button. So, let's see. Where are we? This is not surprising. I-4, which is the main thoroughbred behind my house, has been
named the most dangerous highway in the nation. And someone's trying to, oh no, it's the visitors that are causing all the problem. They get in an unfamiliar rental car and pull out non-familiar bullshit. People drive like assholes around here. People drive 100 miles per hour in a downpour. Okay, maybe not 100, but they do 70, 80 miles per hour in a downpour. A downpour, which by law requires you to slow down. And they come flying up on your ass end. They lose control. You see it during the rains. People are in a ditch, left, right, and center. Why? Because they drive like assholes. I know what I'm doing. I drive high speeds all the time. It's downpouring. I can hydroplane, but I'm too dumb because I got special tires on my car. And yes, they do. Oh, I don't get those winter tires. I got these special super duper summer tires, and I drive around like a dumbass. When it gets downpouring here, it doesn't matter what type of tire you have. You get enough water dumped fast enough, it's going to cause any car to hydroplane. And when you're doing 70, 80, 90 miles per hour like these idiots do, and what do they care? You get in an accident in Florida, it's no fault. Not my fault. I don't give a shit that I'm destroying people's lives. Florida ought to start charging some of these people. We have the laws in place that we could start charging some of these people with attempted murder. Vehicular attempted murder. Because they're irresponsibly driving. It's absolutely ridiculous. I had an 18-year-old crash into my car, and it was what pretty much put the nail in the coffin and has put me to being disabled. Because she didn't know what the hell she was doing. It wasn't some visitor. It wasn't some buddy driving an unfamiliar car. No, she tried driving on an on-ramp at a high speed during a heavy rain and lost control. And that is what causes these accidents. People flying up the shoulders to get by the traffic because they're more important than everybody else. And I've seen bumper-to-bumper traffic where it's almost a dead stop, and you have some asshole flying up the shoulder at a high rate of speed. And then he'll have to jump over, and he just plows into people. Because it's no fault, not my fault. Not my fault. I could go drive like an asshole and destroy people's lives, but it's not my fault. And then you have next to no insurance, and it doesn't cover shit for anybody. The girl that hit me had bare minimum insurance. Bare minimum. And $10,000 got split up amongst like 5 of us. I wound up with a plate in my neck. A steel plate in my neck because of that accident. That's not going with the other injuries I have from the accident. It's not the vacationers that are causing these accidents. It's the residents. It drives me up a wall the way people drive. And then when you slow down, these people are idiots and playing partisan with this and blaming Rick Scott for turning down the high-speed rail. Yeah, California accepted that high-speed rail. It's $1 billion in debt, not finished, nowhere near finished, and now the citizens have to come up with a buttload of money to even try to think about finishing it. But yes, let's blame the governor because people drive like assholes. I get so sick of this shit. It is not because of a Democrat. It's not because of a Republican. It's because people drive like assholes. Everybody wants to blame everything on politicians on this. And you know what? This one, no. I'll stick up for the politicians. No. Someone's got a picture of their dog pissing on a Hillary sign. That's funny. I had someone come up on my property, took my sign apart. They don't pay attention because I actually got a camera pointing out the window. Dumbasses. One and all. I don't know. Man, I have not got to any of my notes. Oh, I got to one part of the notes, the WikiLeaks email validation. And I kind of went off the rail on that one. The problem with WikiLeaks, again, has, for 10 years, have been pumping out actual documents. They check their documents and make sure what they are sending out is real. I don't even think there's been any that have been questionable. They only send out what is real. Democrat Party, the party of oppression. That's about it. They... Again, the Democrats didn't have a problem with it when it was hurting the Republicans now, did they? Nope. It's... They're trying to come up with bullshit excuses, and one of them is that they've been altered. And the problem is each email contains a unique digital key, which is actually a unique number so huge that it is almost impossible to guess, fake, or copy. The key, which is automatically created by an email server at Clinton's organization, is added to each email as it is first sent. So that the message is later altered, the key will show other email servers that the original message did not come from the claimed server, or that it has been altered. The proper name of the process is domain key identification. Domain keys identified mail, which is shortened to DKIM. DKIM lets its organizations take responsibility for a message that is in transit. The organization is a handler of the message, either as its originator or as its intermediator. This reputation is the basis for evaluating whether to trust the message for further handling, such as delivery. Technically, DKIM provides a method for validating a domain name identity that is associated with a message through cryptographic authentication. When the security experts test the WikiLeaks email keys against the shared encryption system, they find that the emails are unmodified. The DKIM key is practically impossible to forge. It is the Democrat Party trying to discredit the emails without directly lying. They can't sit there for each email, so they just throw this blanket accusation out there. They think everybody's going to buy it, and a majority of the people are tired of it. They're not believing this crap anymore. It's getting tiresome. And it's causing a lot of dissension in this country. And the Democrat Party didn't see it. The Democrat Party is responsible for Donald Trump. They created Donald Trump. They created the environment for Donald Trump. They didn't see what was going on, or they didn't want to. I don't know. It scares me what this country is becoming because of directly the Democrat Party. I love this country, and it's not like I'm trying to tear this country apart. But I'm just pointing out, and which most of the listeners and people I know what Donald Trump's message is and what I'm talking about. We're not out to bash the country, but there's problems. And the Democrat Party, number one, is trying to divert you from looking at those problems. Because if you look at those problems, you'll understand that it was the Democrat Party that brought those problems on or made them worse. So they don't want you looking at it. So they're trying to tell you, oh, no, he's just bashing the country. He's bashing the military. No, he's not. He's talked about how making the military better. But we got a bunch of generals in there now that have been forced upon us by Obama that are a bunch of yes men. We need generals that worry more about how to win battles than to kiss the president's ass. And that's what we have now, because that's what Obama pushed in there. He pushed out all the generals that actually spoke their mind. And he put these yes men. He's not bashing the military. That's a distraction to get you to look the other way. Donald Trump did not bash a Gold Star family member, the Khans. The Khans stepped into the political realm, and he responded to their accusation. I have the utmost respect for the military. But when you step up, you're going to get responded to. Plain and simple. You're going to get responded to. And I expect a politician, Democrat, Republican, whoever, to respond. And then to cry because someone responded to your comments, well, that's not the greatest thing. So real quick, I want to go over also, we see Obamacare imploding. But the problem is Jonathan Gruber is back in the limelight again, the architect of Obamacare. And he's saying that, no, this is what it's meant to do. The Democrats were hoping it would implode quicker so that they could dismantle it and go to single payer before his term was up. And I find it funny now. It's imploding and it's caving in on itself and it's destroying itself. And what do we hear from the politicians to try to deflect because it's hurting their chance of re-election or winning elections? It's the Republicans' fault that Obamacare is failing. And it's the Republicans sitting there going, we told you this was going to happen, and it's our fault. We warned you and told you this is exactly what was going to happen. You told the public that we were exaggerating, that we were making it a political issue, that we were trying to make it an election issue, and that none of this was going to happen. And now that it's happening, the Democrats are going, it's their fault. Their fault. I cannot believe it. I really can't. So the Democrats go and destroy our healthcare system. It's biting them in the ass because the Republicans told them, we told you so. And the response is, it's your fault. And yes, they've actually gone out and said it. Now, what's even worse is Bill Clinton, a month ago, was out there bashing Obamacare. Okay? He was out there tearing it apart as Hillary, his wife, is out there campaigning on Obamacare and how great it is. And that it's just a few little tweaks will make it better. And what's funny, she's out there going, well, Trump's going to destroy it and take it away from you. And Trump's going, we're going to replace it with something better. The barn door has been open. The horse is out. We can't. I always hated that expression because you can always put the horse back in the barn. I heard one last night. The horse is already taking a shit. You can't put the shit back. So we'll go with that one. We've opened the barn door to a government-type health insurance. But what we can do is create a better one. And that is what Trump is talking about. So he's not going, Hillary's outright lying, surprisingly, again. Her own husband's out there destroying Obamacare. Just laying the smacketh down on its Rudy Tooty candy ass. Don't ask me why I got that in my head lately. And Hillary's out there going, well, before it was known as Obamacare, it was known as Hillary Care. And her husband's out there bashing it again. Jonathan Gruber's going out there, this is what it's meant to do, implode, so we can go to a single-payer system. I can't believe it. Bill Clinton's out there, and he's trying to help Trump now all of a sudden? There's pictures of him getting pictures taken with guys that are wearing Trump shirts. What the flub? I don't know. I think the old man has lost his mind. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be interviewing Project Veritas, and I'm not sure which person exactly I'll be interviewing, but I'll be having one of the top executives. And tune in. It's going to be fun. Anybody that listens to the show knows that I do things way different than everybody else. I'm not a journalist, not any of that. I talk to him as if it was a human being having a conversation. So, no. I love it. Hillary was I saw a clip of her while on breaking. Trump cares more about his business than campaigning. He went to an opening of one of his hotels. Oh, under budget and early it got done in Washington, D.C. The only time those words are uttered. But yet nobody talks about... Here, let me see. Trump does 3 rallies a day. 3 rallies a day. Hillary Clinton, let's see, let's look. Hillary Clinton's got 1 scheduled for today, for her to speak. She got Tim Kaine doing 2. Chelsea Clinton, John Bon Jovi, Senator Cory Booker. Hillary's Super PAC is doing a fundraiser. Wow, she's got 2 scheduled for tomorrow. Tim Kaine scheduled for 2. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton doing 3 tomorrow. And I'm looking, and Hillary's not scheduled again till election night event, November 8th. You have Kate Perry, November 5th. John Bon Jovi on the 5th in Tampa. Jay-Z on November 4th. You got The National on November 2nd. You got Heather Bosley on November 1st. Senator Christine Gilbride on November 1st. She's doing 2 events on November 1st. You have Tim Kaine doing 2 events on November 1st. Shared October 30th. Denise Chang and Mike Taylor, October 30th. Tim Kaine doing 2 on October 30th. Jennifer Lopez, the 29th of October. Chelsea Clinton, twice on October 29th. Bill Clinton, October 29th. 2 for Biden on the 29th. And she wants to talk about, she's got scheduling for 3 events between now, 4. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4 events between now and November 8th. And do you really want to count the November 8th as an event because it's election night? 3 events. And she wants to talk about Trump wants to take care of business more. Where is she? Why is she being hidden so much? And this is off her site. The hypocrisy that she talks about. She whines about WikiLeaks being legally exposed. Well, they're talking about her illegal activity that she has done. That's how she tries to defend what she's done, is complain that they were illegally obtained and illegally released. She doesn't deny what she did. Now I'm seeing polls that have Trump up 10% in Arizona. I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're in a world of pain right now, this country is. And if she gets in, we are screwed. I can't say it enough. You know what's funny? Trump goes out there and he speaks the truth. He speaks what he has. He did an event last night. I was watching it for a little bit. And he got talking about he's like, I made a comment the other day, and, we wrote it, and I didn't like it. I wasn't going to say it. At the last minute, I threw it in of drain the swamp of D.C. He goes, and now it's huge. It's popular. People love it. He goes, I did not like it. But you know what? It seems to be resonating, so that's the message we'll continue to say. But he admits, hey, this wasn't popular. This wasn't what I wanted. But I went with it because that's what the people like. It's... I'm watching that video where that woman was attacked. Eggs thrown. She was cornered up against glass at a door. Nobody opened the door for this woman. No one helped try to protect her. And that's Hillary's America, where women will be attacked for having their own opinion. So there was a change subject real quick, because I want to make sure I get in, because I found it funny. The UN poll shows climate change ranks where? Now, remember, the UN is one of the strongest proponents of, they push it the most. And it's ranked in their own poll as the least, the lowest, the bottom of all global concerns. But they keep pushing it as the number one. We've had, who's it, John Kerry? The global warming is more dangerous than ISIS. Yeah. Because when I go to the mall, I'm looking for global warming, not ISIS. Yeah. All right, John Kerry. Every year, the UN runs this poll, which surveys people's greatest concerns across the world. Surprisingly, I've never even heard of this poll before, let alone been asked about this poll. It's significant because the responses run into the millions and canvass the views of people from all countries, rich or poor. Climate change came in dead last. Oh, at the bottom, I should say. More than 3 times as many people care about education, and well over twice as many want better health care, job opportunity, honest governments than want action taken on climate change. Shows you where people think. Climate change is a joke. It's a joke. Hit buttons. The only time it creeps up, and this is funny, is in the richer countries. In poorer countries, they don't give a crap about it. Only the rich have this whiny, guilt-ridden ideology. It goes to Americans are more scared of clowns than climate change. 42% of Americans are afraid of clowns, whereas 32% are afraid of climate change. More people are afraid of terrorist attack, gun rights infringement, family members dying, economical collapse, Obamacare, and biological warfare than they worry or scared of climate change. It just... Climate change is nothing more than a scam. To take money from you, take money from rich countries, give it to poor so that they could be equal, yada, yada, yada. Not buying it. Not buying it. And what's funny, I just saw this. Oh, my God. A tweet from Elizabeth Warren, because she's out there. Donald Trump needs to shut up about the rigged system. He's whining. He's crying. And it's not rigged. It's working as intended. Yada, yada, yada. And September 5th, 2012, at 8:20 p.m., she tweeted, "People feel like the system is rigged against them. And here's the painful part. They're right. The system is rigged." That's pretty scary. I mean, we see it all the time. The Democrats, when it's good for them, they'll say it and admit it. But now that it's hurting them, I can hear crickets. I'm just... The hypocrisy of the left is awe-inspiring. I don't know. We're in a bad place, and I keep saying it, we are. I don't know what more I can say, don't say. But we got to change this around, people. And the thing that pisses me off the most is people have been whining. No, I don't want to say whining, but they've been clamoring, screaming, yelling, praying that they want a non-politician. They want someone that's going to actually fix the problem. They've talked about businessmen and yada yada, but they keep talking about what we need and what we want, and we get somebody that steps up to the plate and they buy into the bullshit of the mainstream, the attacks, because those in the establishment know they're in trouble if he gets in. They know that. That's the scary part. That they're fighting and they're pulling every dirty trick they can. This is funny. Sorry for jumping topics. CNN's Wolf Blitzer pleaded Tuesday with Donald Trump's campaign manager for her to ask the GOP nominee to dial back the attacks on media. He's making us look bad. Report the truth and you wouldn't get attacked. We have seen time and time again. We have seen these people do whatever they can to attack the system, to stay up. The Democrats, going back to 2008, Obama was giving speeches and talking about a rigged system. And now he wants to say, oh, no rigged. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. We are going to need to change things, people. We're in a bad place. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but holy shit. Now it's being reported that the Tim Kaine event that I talked about, one of them, in Sarasota tomorrow has been canceled. He just did an event recently and nobody showed up. There was like 30 people there. Let me do a little research real quick while we'd have time. Yeah. I found the news article. News Channel 8 on your side. It's been canceled. Yeah. They've had to cancel these things time and time again. This is not the first time. Double checking this. Yeah. Holy shit. Another one's been canceled. Unbelievable. Well, no, I could believe it. And that's why I don't believe a single one of these polls that has her leading. Because Trump doesn't have to cancel these events. Especially here in Florida, he has 20, 30,000. He was here in Tampa. The amphitheater holds 20,000 people. Oh, there was only like 9,000 people in there. Bullshit. The place was jam-packed. They had to turn people away, and it holds 20,000 people in it. And they had to turn people away. And there were people outside, I would guess, right around 10,000. Because it's an open-air amphitheater, so you can stand there and listen to everything being said. And they had to cancel an event here in Sarasota. She was here in Tampa yesterday, and I saw the crowds. There wasn't that. It was small. Made me laugh. It's quite hysterical on my end, at least. See, what else did I have scheduled for today that I didn't get to? Harry Reid has vowed to nuke the filibuster on SCOTUS nominee. Nevada Senator Harry Reid, the upper chamber's outgoing Democrat leader, is unmoved by Republican posturing surrounding judicial nominee, vowing Senate Democrats will change the body rules to require only 51 votes for confirmation. And Reid actually altered the rules for confirming a president's nominee in 2013 when he was majority leader, eliminating the filibuster for all judicial nominees, the so-called nuclear option, except for the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, what I really want to know is how is he going to do it when he is not in charge anymore? That really... I think he's doing more puffing his chest than actually having any power. With that, that's the end of the show. Don't forget, tomorrow I will have Project Veritas on, and we will discuss the revelations out of their videos. And with that, I want to say thank you for being here today. I appreciate every single one. And, I'll see you tomorrow. Right here, 11 o'clock. SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio. That's what happens when you start thinking two words at the same time that meld them together. YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. See you tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.